What's good? You too, man. It's your boy SB back with another sports break. And as y'all know, this is the week of the NFL draft. So we got to get it in. We got to go ahead and do this for you guys. Run through the whole first round of the NFL draft based on what we think that these teams are going to do. Mostly everybody knows that the draft is a big deal for the NFL. A lot of these young, talented players getting the moment of their lives, getting the job opportunity of their lives to play in the NFL. So it's a big impact for them. Also for these coaches and for these organizations, people lose their jobs over drafting the wrong people in the NFL draft. So it's a big deal. We're about to go ahead and get this in. This draft will be based on what we think that each team should do at that spot. The draft already is unpredictable as it is, so all we can do is just based on what we think would be the best fit for those teams. I got my boy back with me, the Guru. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. I can't complain. What about yourself?
Nice, man. I'm just trying to make it. Just trying to make it. I'm gonna be taking all the evens. My boy's gonna be taking all the odds, and we're gonna go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be taking all the odds. He's gonna be taking all the evens, and we're just gonna go ahead and get it started. The first pick is a number one overall consensus pick. I don't think it's any secret at this point in time where the Jaguars are gonna go with the number one overall pick. So with the first overall pick in the NFL draft, Jacksonville Jaguars are gonna take Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan. I think with the moves that they made in the offseason, they kind of restructured the offensive line, brought in some players, re-signed Cam Robinson. So they kind of reforwarded that offensive line, and that makes them a little more comfortable where they can take edge, number one overall, and be able to get after that quarterback that has a good sneaky quarterback class in the AFC South. So that's a good first overall pick for them. What do you got for the line?
They have a lot of team needs as far as edge, quarterback, um, everywhere around the field. They need help in. Obviously, because of their record. But some people say Malik Willis would be probably the top candidate to go there. But me, I'm thinking more outside the box and what wins actual championships. That is the interior of the line. So I'm gonna go Trayvon Walker at number 2 from Georgia for the Detroit Lions.
Nice. It's really hard to hate that pick. Trayvon Walker, big guy up the middle. He gonna change a lot of things for him. Gonna be really a wrecker, big bowling ball for them to get some pass rush in that league. And anytime you play in the division with Aaron Rodgers, man, you gotta get out to the quarterback. So I think them picking up Trayvon Walker is gonna be huge for them. And his ability to stop the run is it can't be doubted. He definitely is a big run stopper. So
that gives them another Adonamakin Sue type of guy.
Right. So I like that for them. Number 3 for the Houston Texans. As you guys know, I'm a big Texans fan. I went back and forth a lot with what they should do with this pick. A lot of people think that Sauce might be the answer here. I like Sauce Gardner a lot, but to be honest, man, I think some of the other cornerbacks in this draft can be had later on in the draft. And with them having number 13 overall as well now, I think they look to go corner at that point in time. The most important thing for this team is to try to build that wall. Don't know what you're gonna do with Titus Howard. Larry Tunsil's just getting older and older. While you still have those two really good offensive linemen in fold, why not add another one? So I think with number 3 overall, they go Ika Mekwanu from NC State. Start to build that wall for whatever quarterback you're gonna have back there for the future, and have a good protection there. The Texans offensive line has been getting better and better every year. And I think just adding one of the best offensive tackles in the draft to this team is going to help them out a lot.
I like that.
Where do you think the Jets going?
For number 4 with the New York Jets, they have a lot of needs as well. But I feel like they didn't give Zach Wilson enough help. So with that being said, I'm going to go Evan Neal.
Okay. Big offensive lineman for them. I think they went lineman last year as well with Vera Tucker, but it's kind of the same thing that you say for the Texans. Why not build that line? Why not get that wall up? And Evan Neal is definitely a brick wall to have on that offensive line. It's hard to get around that much size. So hard to hate that pick there. I think if you the Giants, you love the way that the draft is kind of working out for you. I think they're at a point to where Pressure is going to be a big thing for them to have to get some pressure on some of these quarterbacks in their division. When you play against Dak Prescott, you can't let him sit back there and just throw the ball all over the place. So I mean, this is the highest that I think I've ever taken him. But I think if you're the Giants, you can't let that go past you. So I think with the 5th overall pick, the New York Giants are going to select Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah, I think if Thibodeau's there, there's no way they can let him slide by them. And if you let them get to the Panthers, they probably gonna scoop him up because they have the same needs. So I think if he's there, you got to go ahead and take him at that point in time.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so with that being said, the Panthers, they have a lot of needs as well. I'm hearing that they're actually trying to look at Baker Mayfield as an option. Mm-hmm. I don't think they go that route. I think that the Panthers go offensive tackle.
Okay.
And I think they go Charles Cross out of Mississippi State.
Good value for Charles Cross. I think that might be a little high for him, but definitely a need for them. They definitely need offensive line. They got to get offensive line in there for whatever quarterback they get. We got 3 linemen going in the top 10, man. That's crazy. But that's the good value of these 3 offensive linemen. They're definitely a tier above the rest of the offensive linemen in this draft. So if anybody deserves to go in the top 10, is these 3 linemen. Okay, so the Giants on the clock again. And I think that if you got the talent that you got on this board and he falls to you, you can't let him go past you, especially for a team like the Giants. They would love to get one of these offensive tackles, but it looks like in our mock they missed out on them. So I think you got to go best player available at this point in time. And the best player available is easily Ahmad Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati. And I think they got really good DBs already. But getting Sauce Gardner in the fold and getting that length, and it's kind of the same thing that I said before. When you play in the division with Dak Prescott, you can't just let him sit back there and throw the ball all over the place. And Sauce Gardner is going to be an amazing press coverage, drop coverage cornerback for them. So I think that helps them out a lot.
Number 8 for the Atlanta Falcons. Most people say edge. That's what they need. I'm going to shake it up a bit.
Okay.
And I'm going to go. They need a wide receiver as well.
Their wide receiver is a mess.
So therefore, I'm going to go Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State.
Okay. Garrett Wilson, obviously the best receiver in the draft. Dude, 40 time is amazing. The way that he run routes is ridiculously amazing. I think that's a good wide receiver for them to get in the fold, especially with their best receiver being Russell Gage. So, I mean, they have a big need there, a big hole in that spot, and to get one of the best receivers in the draft at 8 is going to be a steal for them. And Garrett Wilson and Kyle Pitts together is going to be vicious. That's a vicious combination.
Oh, I thought Russell Gage went to the Bucks.
He might have. And if they don't have Russell Gage, that means they best player is Zacchaeus. So it ain't good either.
It ain't good.
It ain't good either way. But we got here for the Seahawks at number 9 overall. The Seahawks is also one of those teams that definitely want to go offensive linemen. But like we said, the top linemen in this draft have already been selected. I think this is not a spot for them to go quarterback. I think they're going to be really big in that Baker Mayfield sweepstakes to try to get his services. But I don't think this is the draft for your quarterback. Your quarterback's going to be next year. I think for them, they have to try to find a way to get after the quarterback, and to be able to put pressure on the quarterback. So I think with the Seattle Seahawks at number 9, we're going to go Jermaine Johnson.
That's a great pick. State.
And
that is a great pick for us.
That's an amazing pick for the Seahawks. They haven't had a good edge in there since Frank Thomas, right?
Michael
Bennett. So it's been a while since they had an edge rusher of Jermaine Johnson's caliber. Big dude, athletic, can get out there and can cover sweeps and even pitches. I love Jermaine Johnson, love his upside, and if he can fall to the Seahawks at 9, I think they don't hesitate.
Yeah, we definitely need it. So the Jets, um, they go definitely. I think they need a receiver to help out Zach Wilson to get him because what was the guy that they got last year?
At what
He
position?
didn't cut it. He didn't cut it.
Yeah.
Corey Davis didn't cut it.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm going to go with, and I know I think I'm gonna go with Drake London out of USC.
Got to, bro. Got to. I think Drake London, the best receiver left on the board after Garrett Wilson's already gone. And Drake London give him a lot of size. Give him a lot of size. Give him the ability to go over the top, to make plays and to be able to have a big threat for them to go downfield with. So I like Drake London's fit with them. I think you want Zach Wilson to be able to improvise, and Jamison Crowder is not getting younger. So, so I think them be able to pick up Drake London at 10 overall is a good pick for them. With the number 11 pick, the Washington Commanders, they definitely need some help down the field, but it's tough, man, because I like Diami Brown a lot. I like him a lot. I like his ability to be able to stretch the field, and I think he's a good complement to Terry McLaurin. But I mean, this pick is really a depth pick for them more than anything. It's hard for me not to go Darius Stingley Jr. here because so much upside with Darius Stingley Jr., bro. So much talent. Just a question of his heart and his mind. So I think this is a little high for him. So I think with them, I'm gonna go Jamison Williams from Alabama. And I think with the wide receiver core that they already have, they got enough time to let Jamison come along slowly as he recovers from his ACL injury. And from what I've been hearing, I mean, his recovery has been going really well. They think that he's going to be ready for not rookie mini camp, but regular offseason mini camp. So if they can get him in, give him a little bit of opportunity to come along slowly from that injury, he can be a really big factor for them. And to be able to stretch the field with Carson Wentz and Scary Terry, and then move Diami Brown to that slot position, bro, the Commander's gonna be something vicious on the offense, something crazy.
Okay, so with the Minnesota Vikings at 12, they re-signed Pat Pito 1 year. I feel like they haven't just really got after nobody, and they need to really start getting after people. But with this pick, I'm gonna go with the kid Jordan Davis out of Georgia.
Nice, big size linebacker. Can really play inside, outside. He can line up on the line. They got Danielle Hunter. They got pass rushers that can get after the quarterback. So to be able to add a big linebacker to this team is a huge gift for them. So hard not to like that pick at all. Let me get them on the board here for you. All right, nice. All right, so we got the Texans here at 13. And I mean, there's a lot of people that mock this player to them anyways. And I think if he falls this far, you got to go get him, especially with him still sitting there. So I think with the number 13 overall pick, I think if he's there, you don't really hesitate. I think there's good value for him at this spot. It's gonna be Hamilton. As soon as I can get his name pulled up here. And I think like with Justin Reed leaving, they're gonna need a good big safety that they can depend on. And to be honest, Hamilton's best spot is in the box. I see him more of a Cam Chancellor type safety, more than like an over the top guy. And I think they can let Lonnie continue to do that job and continue to have that role.
And then too, bro, within that cover too, he don't really just have to just be as fast,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Because he's getting that help with the pass rush, because the pass rush doing what's supposed to do in the cover two. So I think he'll be a good fit for y'all. He definitely needs to give it a speed coach. But some people just don't probably test good. But he play fast.
Right. He does play fast. He has the ability to get sideline to sideline really quickly. And you can see that on film when you watch him.
call that field speed.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and try to get him up here. Come on, let me find his name. There we go. So yeah, Kyle Hamilton to the Houston Texans at number 13. And like I said, if he fall that far, you don't hesitate really. You got to go ahead and get him up and get him on the board. So I think with them getting Iquanu and Hamilton, that's a good first round, and that's gonna get that rebuild started nice and easy for him. So where do you think the Ravens go?
Ravens at 14. I like Jimmy Smith, but Jimmy Smith getting a little bit older. They do need some corners. They do need some edges. But they also need a receiver. So with that being said, I'm going to go out of Arkansas, Treylon Burke.
Okay.
They give them that big physical tight end. Big physical receiver that they want. Kind of, Baltimore play that gritty type of football. So Treylon, a big receiver that don't mind blocking and, catch some of them passes. 50-50 balls that Lamar like to throw in them slants. I think he'll be a good fit with them.
I think this will probably be the first spot in the draft where we kind of disagree. I think they got guys that they like at wide receiver. And I think with Hollywood Brown being a small receiver as it is, Treylon Burks being small in height doesn't really help them too much. If they was going to go receiver, they need a big receiver like John Dawson. But I think corner is a more pressing need for him. You kind of touched on it a little bit. That corner position is getting older. So I think corner is a big pick for him. But for me, you can get corner late in this draft and still get a really good one.
Yeah.
So they probably they're probably going to go in the second round. What was that?
They all blazing now.
Yeah. They all blazing as well. So I definitely understand that. I think if you're the Eagles at 15, you love what you got here. You got all the talent across the board that you need. But it's obvious what the pressing issue for the Eagles is, and it's definitely corner. You have two of the best corners sitting on the board. I think Sauce is the only corner that's went so far. And like I said, you got extremely talented quarters across the board here. So you got your pick of the litter. But I think the best one that's still available is going to be Trent McDuffie from Washington. I think the length that Trent McDuffie is going to give them is immeasurable. To be able to be long and to cover these guys, all the speed receivers that you're going to have in that division being like CeeDee Lamb and Terry McLaurin, you need length to be able to keep up with those guys. I think Trent McDuffie is going to be one of those players that kind of sneak under the radar a little bit. A lot of people don't know much about him. I haven't heard much people talking about him. So to be able to get him here at 15, still for the Eagles, man, still, that's easy.
For sure.
You got the Saints at 16.
Saints at 16, yeah, I know they need a receiver, but they also need a corner. So with that being said, I'm going to keep him in the state of Louisiana.
Nice.
I'm going to go ahead and go Derek Stingley at 16.
That's amazing value for Derek Stingley, bro. To get Derek Stingley at 16, and like if you get freshman Derek Stingley, and that's the one that you end up getting, and you get him at 16,
you won't.
Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. Definitely love that pick, and I think that's really good value for them, and I'm pretty sure they'll be really happy to have him. And the story of him staying where he played college ball is amazing. So
it's amazing.
Love that pick. And I think for the Chargers, I don't think they stay on the board too long. Got to be able to protect your guy. They got some big pieces in there. Rashawn Slater is a huge offensive tackle. And I think for you to be able to bookend him with another huge offensive tackle in Trevor Pinion from North Iowa, I don't think you take too long making that pick. If he's there, you go with it, you run with it, and you go ahead and get your guy protected and be able to let him throw it all over the yard like he liked to do.
We're going to go with the Eagles. We see they need an edge, wide receivers, safeties, running backs, all over the board. So, but I also know they need another corner. Okay. They didn't have enough corners in that division, especially with what's going on. So therefore, but then again, also you could go wide receiver.
Okay.
So with that being said, Devontae Smith, he had a decent rookie year, I'll say.
Yeah.
But I feel like you need to go ahead and invest more into Jalen Hurts and give him really the help that he need.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead go Chris Olave from Ohio State.
Nice. Yeah, I love that pick for the Eagles, man. Uh, Devontae Smith was nice. He was nice last year, but it's obvious that the cover is bare there, and there's not many players that you can get in this draft that's going to be able to impact you the way that Chris Olave will. And I think to have a player like Devontae Smith to be able to stretch the field, Chris Olave is a hands guy. He doesn't drop many passes, and he's an immaculate route runner. Like, dude knows how to get open. That's one of the things that he does best. And I think for the Eagles, for you to be able to get a receiver like this, you can kind of not put as much pressure on Jalen Reagor. And I think that's probably been the problem with Reagor. He got a little too much pressure on him to be that second fielder, to be big like that. But I think if you can give him a little more pressure, keep Olave in that slot, keep Jalen Reagor on the other side of Devontae Smith, they're gonna be dangerous. That's a lot of offense there. So I definitely understand that pick there. With the Saints here at 19, you already went Darius Stingley at 16. The Eagles really took the last good the last good wide receiver in this spot. And I think for them, being able to actually play a little more defense would be big for them. You play in a division where you pay the Bucks 2 times a year, and they just got Tom Brady back. So it's tough to say for them, man, because wide receiver is such a big need. But I think this is way too early for Johan Johnson, and I think you can get like a George Pickens in the second round and be straight. So I think for the Saints, they already with Stingley, so they're good on corner. I think the best thing for them, God, man, this is a hard pick. Let's see here. I think okay, I'm just gonna go with my gut, and I'm gonna go Zion Johnson.
That's what I thought you was gonna say. Good one.
I gotta go Zion Johnson, Boston College. I think they offensive line is straight, but it's one of the positions that they had a lot of injury in last season. And you go through so many quarterbacks last year, and it's a sign that your protection don't hold up all the time. I think then with them having Ryan Ramczyk, they got some good offensive linemen in there. To be able to add Zion Johnson, a guy that can play every position on the line except center, it's a good ad. And you can never have too much protection for a quarterback, especially since it looks like they're going to have Jameis back there and he coming off that ACL injury. You need enough protection to have him in there. But if Chris Olave fall to them, I could definitely see them snatching him up quick, fast, and hurry. But I think with the way that our boys shook out here, this is a little too early for Johan Johnson, in my opinion.
I agree.
Steelers at 20, man. I think we pretty easy for who the Steelers go with at 20, huh?
They got draft. The guy that they want falls to them at 20. They don't have to trade up. They desperately need a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go with the guy that they are really high on, and that is Malik Willis out of Liberty.
Yep. And I think as Malik Willis be the first quarterback to go off the board here for us, I think Malik Willis is the best quarterback in the draft. Historically in the draft, we usually don't go this late. We're getting a quarterback. And to be honest, somebody's going to trade up for him. He probably won't fall to 20. If the Steelers want him, they're going to have to make a trade to go get him. He won't be there at 20 for them. But the way that our draft boys shook out, they didn't have to make any moves. They fell right in their lap. And I think if that's the case and he's there at 20, I don't see them being on the clock for more than 30 seconds, man. They go turn in that ballot so quick. So quick. All right, nice. So with the Patriots here at 21, I think it's really not a tough decision for them. They really just got to decide between two players. That I know that at the top of the draft board, it's more about need versus talent. And for me, it's either Andrew Booth Jr. or Devin Lloyd. Devin Lloyd from Utah is a prototypical linebacker that they love. He fits the mold of a Patriots linebacker, and Dante Hightower is not going to be young forever. But you losing J.C. Jackson is too big of a hole. that has to be filled at this point in time. So I think at number 21 overall, they go Andrew Booth Jr. from Clemson and get a really good cornerback in there that's going to be able to cover some of the wide receivers they run into in that division, like Stephon Diggs and some of the other talented players. Now Tyreek Hill as well. They need somebody in there that's going to be able to guard some of these wide receivers that's in their division.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay. With that being said, where can we go with the Packers? I know they need some corners. Of course, they need a receiver.
Gotta go receiver. I think it gotta be receiver.
Gotta be receiver. But with that being said, it ain't really just far as the receivers that's on the board now.
Right.
I don't see them going receiver.
And this
I see them going
wide receiver
more,
class for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But as far as first round, I don't think they go receiver.
Right.
I think they go as far as with the needs that they need. I think they go Devin Lloyd.
I love that pick for them. You lose to Darius Smith. You got a hole there for guys that you need to be able to have big size guys. And like I said with the Patriots, Devin Lloyd is a big linebacker. They got top end speed, and they can play him at some edge if they wanted to. If they wanted to put his hand in the dirt or even have his hands on his knees at the edge and play him in like a Khalil Mack type role, I think Devin Lloyd would excel at that. And I think that's a really big need for them. So I love that pick.
That's a good pick for him.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Arizona Cardinals. So with the Cardinals, man, I went back and forth a lot with the Cardinals. Obviously they need corner. I can't name a single corner on that team. But you got a disgruntled wide receiver that's one and out. So it won't hurt to get him a little more protection back there so he's not running for his life. Even though running for his life is one of the things that he does really well. So I think you can't go without getting that corner. And I don't think they'll be able to get a good one in the second round. Corners are kind of thin here. So I think if Kyer Elam is still sitting there, you got to go ahead and take him. I think it's Kyler Elam out of Florida. They get that big corner in there, press guy. Florida corners really don't pan out too well a lot of times. See Vernon Hargraves. But I think go ahead.
That was just one case.
I think if he's there for them, they really can't pass up on that. But I like I said, I also see them going lineman if need be at that point in time. It's kind of really up to them at that point.
For sure. Okay, Dallas Cowboys. God. I think they'll go. They just lost Randy Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say David Ajabo before he got hurt.
Yeah.
I still like Ajabo.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go. You gotta just really just respect what it is, and like I say, you win football games from the inside. You know what I'm saying, from the trenches. So I'm gonna go Devontae Wyatt out of Georgia.
Ooh, I like Wyatt with them a lot. Big guy out the middle. That's something they really haven't had since Malik Collins left. Big guy out the middle, man. I think he don't get as much credit because he played next to Trayvon Walker. But it's hard to not be able to see the things that he can do and the type of talent that he has. Run stopping, passing, rushing the quarterback. I think that's a good fit for him. And with them having D-Law on the other side, I don't think they can pass up on that. So I like that pick a lot. We got the Bills at 25. With them losing Tre'Davious White last season, you kind of could see the need for corner. It's one of the things that they really, really need. The cupboard is pretty bare after that. But for our board, none of these corners are worth the top round pick. I like Kyler Gordon a lot, but him and Roger McQuarrie are not first round picks. So I think you got to kind of turn your attention to the offensive line to be able to protect your best player on the team, which is definitely going to be Jared Allen. So I think with the number 25 overall pick, they got to go Kenyon Green out of Texas A&M. Kind of fortitude that offensive line, get some more pieces in there, and kind of build that big wall for him, for your best quarterback and your best player on the field with being Allen. So Kenyon Green from Texas A&M, the 25.
26. Okay. They need an edge. Titans, I'm gonna go with. In this instance, I have to go with the guy out of Georgia again. I mean, not Georgia, out of Purdue.
George Kalafis.
George. Yes, sir.
George Kalafis. I like George Kalafis with them. I think for Brable, that's the prototypical guy. He likes his edges to be rough and physical, and that's what George Kalafis gives you. More of a power rusher, so he gonna go in there hands first. Yeah, he gonna go in there hands first, right into the lineman's chest, and try to run straight through that dude. And I know that's the type of thing that Mike Vrabel loves on his team. And with them being able to get into the playoffs, but then get that embarrassing loss, I think they have to kind of think quarterback in this draft. Obviously not here because you got no more really good quarterbacks. But I think in the second round, something I don't hear really people talk a lot about for the Titans is going after a quarterback. Sneakily, Ryan Tannehill is about to be 35, bro. He about to be 35. And you lose a game where you give up 7 sacks and Ryan Tannehill throws 3 picks in the playoffs. So I would look for the Titans to go quarterback somewhere in this draft. Obviously, Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett are the only ones that go there. But I think you can get Kenny Pickett in the second round, too. Yeah, I think you can get him in the second round. And I think they have a high second round pick as well. So I'll just throw that in there. But I think George Kalafis is the pick for them at this point in time in this part of the draft. I think for the Bucks, you still got to work on that offensive line, man. You had Ali Marpet just up and retire on you at 29 and just up and retired out of nowhere. So you got to fill that hole. I think Tyler Linderbaum is a great offensive lineman. He plays center, but he also can play a little bit of guard. That's probably not the ideal position for them. But I think this late in the draft to get a value and to get a guy like Tyler Linderbaum in there, and for you to be able to steal him from some of the later people in this round, like the Bengals, who I know definitely got their eyes on the player like him. I think at this point you got to go for it. Got to go ahead and steal him away. So I got the at 27, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking Tyler Linderbaum from Iowa.
That's a good pick for him too.
Where you think the Packers go now? You think they finally get a receiver?
No. But I know one thing. They do need a safety. So with that being said, I think I'm gonna go Daxton Hill out of Michigan.
Ooh. See, the tricky thing, I think that's an amazing pick for them, by the way. But the tricky thing is, that the Chiefs want him. You know that the Chiefs need a Tyrann Mathieu replacement, someone that can stay over the top and not get burnt like Justin Reed tends to do. Justin Reed, more of a physical type safety, likes to rough it up with the guys, but if someone gets past him, Justin Reed's not the guy to catch up. But Daxton Hill is. And I think that's good for the Packers, man. They haven't had a good safety in a while. To be able
Morgan Burnett.
Yeah. To be able to pair somebody like that, because they need to play a lot of single high, because you can trust Jair Alexander to lock up his player one-on-one. So if you're going to play single high and leave Daxton Hill by himself, you need a guy that got that good over-the-top speed like Daxton Hill does. So I love that pick for him. I think that's an amazing pick for them. And I think it upsets the Chiefs just a little bit, especially with them having back-to-back picks here. But I think they go ahead and get it wrapped up for them with one of these 2 picks. Lewis Seen is a great safety. But I think the more pressing need for them right now is definitely wide receiver. And if Johan Dawson falls to you at this point in time, I don't think you hesitate. He's one of the best receivers in the draft, big size, got a lot of speed, and they need that Tyreek Hill replacement. And I think Johan Dawson is a good possession receiver to be able to get those big end zone throws for him when they're not going to Travis Kelce.
Okay. and see Lewis Seen, he could go to the Chiefs, huh?
Yeah.
That could be a good pickup for him, but I don't think they go there.
Okay.
I think they go Quay Walker.
Nice. Yes, I love Quay Walker there. Big size guy. And I think they gotta go defense with one of these two picks they got in the first round. Because it's been an Achilles heel for them such a long time. Being the poorest defense. Everybody says that they got such a high powered offense, but their problem is the defense. So they got to start investing in that. Got to start putting some talent there on that side of the ball. All right, so we got the Bengals here at number 31. You make it to the Super Bowl last year. It's obvious that you wasn't able to protect Joe Burrow the way that you needed to in that Super Bowl. But with the way this board shook out, there's not really many good offensive linemen left. So I think for them, they got to go best player available. I think this is a little too early to take a chance on David Ojabo. A little bit too high for him. And I also think this is a little too high for Nakobe Dean. So I think the best player available at this point in time for the Bengals to be able to pick up is going to be Boye Mafe from Minnesota. I think his ability to get after the pass rusher is one of the things that you really can't doubt for a player of his caliber. He's not really great at anything, but he's really good at a lot of things. And I think to be able to add just talent for the Bengals is one of the big things that they have. Like I said, they're a team that made it to the Super Bowl last year, so they don't really need many pieces. But to be able to just add pure talent in Boye Mafe is really immeasurable at that point in time. So last pick of the draft, we got the Detroit Lions here with the last overall pick in the first round. I think you had them going Trey Walker in the early in the first round at number 2 overall. Where you got them going at 32?
I'm gonna go ahead and shake up the draft like I said I was. I could have went Lewis Seen. I could even went quarterback Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it. I see a need for a running back. They do have DeAndre Swift, but they also have another guy that they got from the Packers.
Yeah.
I thought about going Kenneth Walker the third. Okay. But what I'm going to do with this one is I'm gonna shake it up because they need defense, and I feel like defense do win championships. Yeah. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and go David Ojabo at 32 for the Detroit Lions.
All right, so you got them fully restructuring it off their defensive line in this draft, huh? And I think with them taking Trey Walker earlier in the draft, it gives them a little bit more time to let David Ojabo come along. Get his wind a little better. And I think at this point on our board, David Ojabo is probably the best player left. I think Kenny Pickett, Desmond Riddler, second round picks, even Howell. Second round picks, guy that you can get in the second round. I don't think Kenneth Walker waits long in the second round. I think he's going to be an early second round pick. And the Lions have one of those early second round picks. And I think they might be looking at Kenneth Walker the third with one of those picks. But I think the value that you get from taking David Ojabo here, if he can bounce back from the injury, is going to be superb. All right. So like I said, you guys, that's going to be the draft for us. A lot of things are gonna go on in the draft that you really can't predict. It's an unpredictable moment for the NFL, but I love this draft. I think we did a really good job. Some of the highlights from this draft: the offensive linemen went off the board fast, man. We had all offensive linemen, all the really top tier offensive linemen gone in the top 10 picks. We had Malik Willis falling to the Steelers without them having to do a single thing, without having to lift a finger. I think with our mock, the best draft, it looks to be the Saints, man. Get Stingley Jr. and Zion Johnson in the first round without having to really do anything. Well, they did make the trade to get these picks, but for them to be able to take them is a steal. So the draft gonna be a little later on this week, man. I think it's on Thursday. This is gonna be a part of the SB versus Everybody series. And even though we usually let the viewers pick who's gonna win, we're gonna let the draft shake out and pick who's gonna win. Let's see how many of these picks we picked end up being correct. Let's see how many of these picks we can tally up and see how well we predicted those things. Once again, I appreciate you for your time again, my brother. As you know, the NBA playoffs going on right now, so I'm gonna have to have you back in to talk a little basketball. But I appreciate your time again here today. Once again, if you guys like this type of content, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you leave a comment of the day. Who you guys think gonna be the number one overall pick in the NFL draft? Let me know in the comment section down below. But either than that, I'm out, man. I appreciate you, boys.
All right, thank you, brother.